What's up, fam? It's your boys back again, episode 12, and you better believe I remember this time.
What that's impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah, every now and then I do.
Episode 12, baby.
We're getting there. We're getting
strong.
there. So for episode 12, I'm hoping we have at least 12 new subscribers.
12.
So if we don't, please subscribe and be an addition to our success.
Be a part of the family. As I said, we're going to have you all in for a party one day. So is there going to be 40 of you, or is there going to be 1,000? Like, you create the party.
You either want to join us at the top, or you can look down.
We're not going to accept you as a friend or a part of the family if you join on the bandwagon when we're rich and famous.
If I'm having a chat with you about this podcast and you tell me you haven't subscribed, there's going to be some sort of issue.
And if you say, I don't have a YouTube account, I don't give a fuck, create one.
I had a YouTube account at 16, so you can have one at whatever age you're at.
80% of you watching right now are not subscribed.
Subscribe.
Just fucking subscribe.
Please. Because we bring you awesome guests.
But thank you for all the love for the Chevy episode.
And thank you for all the love ongoing and all the feedback we're getting.
All the constant love.
And speaking of special guests.
We
have, for the second time, a amazing guest. So our first double guest. If you recall, if you've been a long time fan, you would remember the first podcast we had him on, and there was some technical difficulties.
Big technical difficulties.
We had to think smart.
We were great that night.
We were on the ball.
On Instagram Live, there's pressure.
Yeah.
It's fucking pressure. There's 150 people watching.
And if you guys were fans from all the way back in the Instagram Live days, you've been with us for a long time. But obviously, as you can see, we've upgraded. So it only made sense we had this guest in once we had the new kit. So without further ado, Mehmet, Ceyhan, everybody, yeah. Woo!
Thanks for having me, guys. Good to be here again.
Thanks for coming back on. No technical issues.
Let's hope we don't fucking I fucked that up. Buffer.
Yeah. Edit that. No, well, we've removed any room for error. Awesome. And this is the first night of freedom. So
we're here legally today. Legally.
Yeah.
I'd say that we weren't before. We're accredited media, but yeah.
We all had worker permits, as you as you mentioned. We're accredited media, and I hope you guys realise that we've added props.
Ooh.
So
it's getting bigger and better every week.
Yeah, legit.
Get on board, guys. 100%. Get on board, or you're missing out.
Yeah, boy, Mehmet. Last time we didn't get to get your story out.
It was a shame,
It was a shame because it was actually such a captivating story, and I think there was heaps of people commenting saying, what was he saying?
Yeah, there was.
But I guess I just want to start with maybe a bit of a background. You've had a very illustrious career. Even now you're still doing big things. But where did it all start? Where did all the interesting things in your life start?
And, how are you?
I'm great.
That's the best.
Let's start with that.
Actually. And it's really good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
We're very happy to have you.
I'm actually a fan, listening to you guys, and I'm loving your content.
I'm sorry, man, we've got to go off one more time. You know what we forgot to mention?
What?
Charlie's not here.
Yeah.
Hey! And we just forgot.
Guys, I'm sure you guys remembered, you guys noticed that Charlie's not here. He's part of our podcast. Charlie's currently away tonight. He's had Charlie. I'm sorry if you're watching this. He's had some things come up where he had to attend to, but nevertheless, he's here in spirit. We're sending big love to Charlie. We're gonna carry this one for him. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're all good.
Back to your story. Yeah. So last time I cut him off. I promise. Guys, if you haven't watched the last podcast, Mem is my coach, a long-time friend. He's had a very large fighting career, big coaching career, multiple businesses. He does some humanitarian work, self-proclaimed lawyer from time to time. He's very, very interesting person, very knowledgeable person.
He turned you into a pro athlete.
He turned me into a pro athlete, and fuck it, let's just stick a photo of me before fighting and a photo of me now, and that's just a testament to Mem's work.
So, subscribe.
I can do anything. I can do anything.
So where did it all start?
Well, the fighting.
Even before, just training. Like what? I don't even know how you started training.
The training. Look, always loved fighting. You know, mucking around, play fighting. And as you're young, you get into a lot of mischief.
Punch-ons?
Yeah, punch-ons. Yeah, punch-ons are fun.
No, and you guys.
You were a bit of
we used to play
bad boy,
soccer and you get punch-ons.
Yeah.
So you know, if you'd lose the game because you copped a few goals, but hey, you know, I wonder if we lose a fight. Well, we might win a fight. So
1-1.
We've just been young. So yeah, we were getting to a lot of mischief. Getting to a lot of blues. So you've got this like Turkish community consulate sort of thing. They sponsored me and my cousins, a couple of my cousins, a kickboxing membership for 3 months, and that was at Big Ben Chua. So he's my first coach.
Why? Because you were just creating that much mischief.
I guess
Turkish
they
community.
were.
It was just like.
I guess it was a step towards rehabilitating youth to, you know, become
sick.
Better members of the community or something. I guess, but
they don't do enough of that these days.
That's cool.
Well, at the time, I was kind of like, whoa, like so. We're getting in fights, and these guys are giving us a sponsorship to fight better.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, I'll go with that, man. And anyway, so yeah, it started from then. Like about a month after our first training, we had our first fights, and we fought at the Johnny Sheeter's gym in Sunshine, the old police youth centre. So they're inter-club fights, and man, it was just awesome. I fell in love with it. It was like, I get to fight and you're not going to get charged.
Yeah.
This is the best thing ever. So,
how old are you at this time?
16.
16.
And yeah, even back then I fought a few really tough guys. Like a couple of them were Mark the Hammer's coaches back then. I think I lost like 3 or 4 in a row because I had no fitness. Never went for a run.
Did you win your first fight?
No, like I said, those amateurs, I think I lost like 3 in a row or something.
Yeah.
2 or 3 in a row. I won the first round. Every fight I won the first round. Nothing in the second round. So I'd never gone for a run. So yeah, and then where do we go from there? So we had a few of them, and then I had a couple of pros. Back then it was there was no amateur. So amateur was either semi-contact, but even though it was semi-contact, they used to let us go pretty hard.
What's semi-contact?
It's meant to be light contact. You can't knock each other out, sort of thing. So
it's pretty hard to control, isn't it?
it's what current day interclubs are. So it's not like sanctioned. So you it's pretty much like you're sparring. You're allowed to spar, and there's a winner and there's a loser.
Yeah. See, me as a non-fighter doesn't understand what you're saying.
Well, this is really like just to Victoria, I suppose. Like every state's got their own different rules and regulations, and even every country. Like if you go to Thailand, there's no such thing. You either fight or you don't.
Huh.
You know.
So yes, you were fighting in semi-contact.
Yeah,
when you're in your
they used to let us go really hard anyway.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of guns there. Jason Tramsek used to fight. He was like always the main event at the interclubs, and a lot of good pros came from there. Then I had a couple of pros. Like I said, there was no amateur, but it was ruled first 5 fights you had to wear shin guards. So, but it was full contact. So I lost my first 2.
Just boxing?
Kickboxing.
Shin guards?
Yeah. That's how it was. First 5 fights you had to wear shin guards. But
is that not more dangerous?
I think on my 3rd fight...
Shin guards? More dangerous?
Would that not hurt you more?
No.
When you were doing the kicking with a shin guard?
No.
The shin's harder.
Shin's much harder.
Think of a pillow on your shin.
How fucking soft are shin guards?
Quite
pretty soft.
Well, they're not going to be harder than your bone.
I just imagine them like pretty hard. No, I'm wrong.
Oh, look, they're firm, but just
Much less harder. Fuck, I'm looking like an absolute rookie right now.
It's like, yeah, it's not something you'd imagine, but you know, it's just bone on bone is just.
I think you got to feel it one day.
You got to feel it, yeah. After this podcast.
We'll see that. Okay, shins hurt more than shin guards.
Yeah. So I think I lost 2. Then I came a draw, and then I won like 7 or 8 straight. So from there, I went to Sting Gym in Melbourne Fight Centre with Michael Karitzis and Michael Vukovic.
Shout out.
Yeah, the boys. I had most of my career actually at the Sting Gym.
Yeah.
So that's sort of, from my knowledge, where your sort of coaching career began as well, because you started studying his Cert 3 and 4 in fitness.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah. So I did it through the Sting Gym.
Yeah.
And then it was just full on. Like I was training in the morning, going to work, going to the gym, training, coaching, and then so that was pretty much life.
Yeah.
For a while. So I had a good run with Michael. Had a lot of fights with Michael. And I had a couple of boxing fights. I did it in my knee.
ACL,
LCL.
Every CL.
I've done a lot of CLs.
All the CLs.
In both knees?
Ruptures in both knees. Yeah.
How? Any cool story?
Cool story. The first time I did it, we were fighting in tag team kickboxing. And it was Australia versus New Zealand. Yeah. So 3 5-minute rounds. And once you tagged in, you had to be in for a 40-second interval minimum. So at 40 seconds, there's people with timers and that in the corners, and go as soon as they go 40 seconds, it's up, blah blah, and then they go tag tag tag. So you get a fresh guy in all the time. So there's a lot of action. Kind of wasn't my thing actually. Like, mate,
it's the most insane shit I've ever heard. Yeah. You were doing that?
Yeah. And man, one of the guys, he weighed like 7 or 8 kilos heavier. And his coach was like, "Oh, you just had a big meal, eh?" I was like, "Fuck, shit, yeah." This guy got biceps like the size of my head, but anyway. So at one stage, I decided to not tag because I want to stay in there, man. I don't want to tag. And I go, I want the big guy. So I had to go with the big guy. And another funny story, is man, this guy dropped me hard, and I didn't know where I was, but I got up and I went, no, it's a slip, it's a slip. And he wipes my gloves and goes, yeah, slip. Walk forward, and I got my hands up, and I'm looking, and I can't see him. I'm like, where is he? And lucky we had the 40-second tap rule, because I didn't stay in there that long, because I tapped out. Otherwise, I was out of it. But I think it was in the second round or something. It was 3 5-minute rounds. Yeah, I think I was doing a switch kick. Put my weight on my right leg, and bang, my knee gave way.
Fuck.
Ooh. And so I sort of struggled the rest of the fight.
You kept fighting?
I kept fighting. It went the distance.
You had about...
Not smart. I mean, if I think about it now, I was like, I'll just stay on the ground.
Yeah. What did you have, like 10 fights with a ruptured ACL?
Probably, something like that, yeah. Like, so, we did some methods to sort of heal it up naturally and stuff. Like, we didn't get the surgery. The doctors said I wouldn't be able to fight or run.
For at least another year and a half.
Yeah, so I was sort of like for a good 7 years, I was just sort of band-aiding and nursing, and I just thought if I have a Rico, it's probably a good year or 2 years out of my career, and I don't think I'll make it back. Which is, if I went back, I would have got the surgery straight away.
Oh yeah.
Done the proper rehab and just reset and go hard. But
the sport was a lot different back in the day. Like this day and age, the sports science and sports physio, like science physios, what are they called?
Nutrition,
exercise scientist.
Exercise scientist, nutritionist and everything. But from what Mem tells me back in the day, it was just a lot of grit and hard work and trial and error.
Yeah. And that's where I think I pick up a lot of my coaching attributes now to what we did wrong.
Yeah.
So pass that on to our fighters that are up and coming.
Yeah.
Train smarter.
Yeah.
And I think back then we used to train too hard and I'd just be fatigued all the time.
Yeah.
So I'd be doing in the same session, you know, all your running, skipping, bag work, pad work, and then sparring. 2 months sparring, and then you're trying to do weights too. So there was no structure.
Which is that's what I've found as a coach is when I'm speaking to, and it's not singling you out, but speaking to fighters and whatnot about like I feel like fighting, it's a lot of it's still like at an earlier level. A lot of it's still back in the early 2000s, late 90s, where it's that work hard, fucking grind every day, like just hard work approach. Which I'm sure would help you with the mental side of fighting, fucking big time, and give you that advantage. But fuck, I feel like there's smarter ways to go about it.
Oh, 100%. There's things to take out of it. You're mentally strong, but what's going to happen, later down the track? Is it causing irreversible damage, or it's going to be a lot harder to get back on track.
Fuck yeah.
And
I think it's very important because when you get to the higher levels, and this is where like we've started to come to understand now, is that like the structure is what starts setting people apart. So the hard work will get you to the higher level, but then at the higher level, like where you see like a lot of the UFC guys, is that their approach to their training sets them apart from each other.
Yeah.
And then obviously hard work is just like an underlying thing there.
Yeah.
They all do it.
It's just like you can't be there without the hard work. Like that's like the first thing you need to grasp, and then after that it's like honing it in.
Yeah, and then it's all nutrition, psychology. Then it's all the branches. Everyone there is working hard.
Everyone there is working hard, and I suppose it's something that like money brings you to. Like the UFC employs like some of the best exercise scientists, exercise physiologists.
Which actually next week we've got Australia's #1 exercise scientist.
Oh wow.
Coming on. So.
Which we will be putting out there.
Subscribe, guys.
I can look forward to that one.
You've been told.
But currently we have Australia's #1 kickboxing.
So, Mem, going on to mindset and things like that, obviously having to battle through injuries takes a lot of grit. Like, a lot of people usually when they get injured, they call it quits. Like I know in a lot of sports they do.
Yeah.
Even people we know have had injuries and call it quits. You took 2 busted knees and still managed to rope together some titles, some big titles.
Yeah.
So what sort of helps like with mindset, and like what can you recall on in the past that have gotten you through?
It's like I said, battling through injuries, and everyone sees the fight. And this guy had a cruisy fight, or this guy had a hard fight, but the fight's, not necessarily the hard part. It's the camp, the training, and the shit you have to go through, and the battles you have to overcome to make it. So, get Peter Haddon on here one day. Great coach. And
Shout out Peter.
Peter Haddon.
Yeah. So Peter is Mem's coach.
Mm-hmm.
One of like the biggest names, I suppose, in coaching in Australia.
Yeah.
Coaches some UFC fighters. Yeah, Jake Matthews.
Shout out.
Shout out Jake Matthews.
I know you're watching.
Coaches him.
So Peter Haddon will tell you, and I hear this story from other people that he's told. So he's really worried about me a lot. And so when you're this far into a camp, you've taken time off work, so you're down on funds. So, it's not big paydays, but it's something, yeah? It's something to cover some, your losses. They say, mate, you got to get me to this fight. He goes, man, I'm going to have to pull you out, mate. I'm like, bro, don't pull me out. I go, just trust me, just get me to the fight. And he'd be like, man, it's a hard fight, man. Like, you need to be tip top. You need to be 100%.
Who are you fighting?
Mate, every fight I had with him, there was always I was always injured.
Yeah.
So why was he concerned?
That I'm not going to make it to the fight, and I'll get stopped because I won't be able to continue. I come to train now, like, man, I can't punch with this hand; it's busted.
Oh, you just had injuries.
Yeah, I can't kick.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, this is, he'd be going having meetings with Salim, who's the gym owner, the manager.
Yeah.
And, we have hot concerns and stuff. But, he got me there and we battled through it. And I think what really gave me the edge is just getting through all those obstacles. And, I just had, what's the word in Turkish? We call it inat, where it's not arrogance, but stubbornness.
Yeah.
So stubbornness to quit. So I didn't want to quit. I'm probably towards the end of my career. I've got to get through this. So probably my last five years or something, I always thought, like I said, any fight can be my last fight, and that's what I used to tell my wife too. Okay, any fight could be my last fight, so I just need you to stick with me and to support me.
Yeah.
There's not long left, but I just want to go hard, so as hard as I can. Whereas if I had another big injury, like let's say a rupture or something, I would have called it quits.
That's it. Yeah.
So mindset, man. Just training hard. Going through pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went through a lot of it.
So, but not just that, it's just pain through, your sparring partners. Like sparring the best guys in Melbourne, you'd rock up to sparring and you'd have the butterflies, you'd have the nerves, like it's, shit's going to go down today,
Yep.
Someone might get dropped.
You would like, I would consider you would have been kicking on around a golden age of kickboxing in Melbourne. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So UFC is a massive thing now, and like MMA, but like around the time from the research I've done, so I do a little bit of research.
Do your own research.
Do your own research, guys. Not financial advice. UFC wasn't a thing back then, so there wasn't so much interest in fighting in the public eye. So there was like the niche, which is like, I don't know, like they got the boxing world, and then like the obviously all the big characters around the boxing world also spilled over into the kickboxing world. And the shows that men would fight on were like, I'll show you guys on YouTube, pop a link in here, maybe like a real quick one. But they'd walk out to massive crowds, like people getting carried on like thrones and stuff out, like fire shooting out the rings, and massive, like huge crowds. Like the kickboxing shows like that you've come to watch me or whatever,
don't compare.
Nothing in comparison to some of the shows.
Come on, Prince's show's pretty good, bro.
Prince's show is probably the first. Shout out Prince Promotions. Prince Promotions is one of the first ones that are actually bringing it back. That style and that like size. It's definitely the biggest show that I fought on kickboxing, and probably the most exciting. But yeah, some of the videos that you watch are amazing. And so the sparring partners that you mentioned, like when I was first learning, like in the kickboxing, I'd like look up to these guys, and they're all scary motherfuckers. You guys had a sick team.
Yeah. So team is very important, and again, you grow off each other. So we had a really good team back at Extreme, and we would have camps, and there'd be, in a matter of 1 month, you'd have 10, 15 people competing, pro, amateur, but they're all training together.
Mm-hmm.
They're all running together. They're all sparring together. And even after training's finished, they're all helping each other in a way.
Yep.
With nutrition, or they're getting food and sharing tips and studying drills and stuff like that.
Cleaning the mats and shit. That's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you get someone who covers their membership by cleaning the mats, and everyone takes turns like at that for a little while.
Yeah. It's like a little hazing thing, isn't it?
Geordie actually took care of that for a long time at Extreme.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah.
Shout out Geordie.
He used to take it pretty seriously.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. He
loved cleaning the mats.
Oh, he had a lot of pride in his work. Yeah, boy. Every night. And I'd sit back after a training and talk some shit with him.
But, so mindset, like, to touch back on mindset. So, you, like, this is good. You two are both fighters that go through some shit, and I am not that. Right, but so to the casual fan sort of listening, you said like mindset and you just grind and just get through the training with all your injuries that you and how you have all these injuries and you can't punch with a certain hand and your coach wants to pull you out of the fight, but you're like, no, I'm getting to the fight, and you get to the fight every time. Every single time, like that's crazy. But I want you to elaborate into that a little bit more. Like, it might be foreign to you because you only know one way, but how does that sort of mindset come about? Because me, if I had a broken hand leading into a fight, that shit's getting cancelled straight away.
I think most people like, you know, someone gets hurt at training, they don't come back for another 3-4 months.
Yeah, and that's obviously what separates the champions from the participants.
Yeah.
But how does that come about? How, like you said, you had no cardio when you started. Obviously that changed.
You learn from mistakes.
You started running.
You know, if you can't fight 2 rounds, something's got to change, mate.
Yeah.
And if you're losing every fight, it's like,
Is it the love for fighting that drove this like passion and mindset towards training? Just the love?
100%, yeah. I loved fighting, and it was just like, I just want to be better. You know, so it was, I wanted to complete a full fight without gassing.
Yeah.
And then it's like, fuck, now I want to win.
Yeah.
And you started tasting that, and it's like, man, I want to keep going.
Yeah.
I want to win. I want to knock out now, you know? I want to knock out everyone.
Yeah.
So you got to push through boundaries, through your limits, and it takes, you know, like you've got to have some loose screws, man. To be honest, like you have to.
I agree.
Come to terms that you're going into a fight. The worst thing that can ever happen to you is you're going to get knocked out, and you know you have your faith and trust in your coach and the referees and the officials that they're not going to let you get hurt.
Yeah.
So the worst that can happen is you're getting your lights put out.
Yeah.
You'll be back. You'll be fine after that. But if you're fine with that, then you're fine with the worst that can happen.
Yeah.
And then you start building on top of that. So, you know, you've trained hard. You know, they've trained hard as well. So they've been through the pain.
Yeah.
And the nerves. Nerves is one thing that unless you ever have a fight, you'll never... it's not something I can really
understand
put into words, because then you have this anxiety that builds up.
We don't have anxiety.
It's fine.
Yeah, so you got something called punch anxiety, fight anxiety. So you can look really good on the bag and the pads, but when someone's in front of you and their gloves are covering your sight and smashing the shit out of your face,
there's a crowd, the lights are on.
It's different. You're fighting 2 people.
Yeah.
You're fighting yourself and them, and the harder opponent is yourself. So when you get over that, it's a lot smoother sailing.
Yeah.
But when you get when yourself, your opponent, which is yourself, has the better of you, then you're in for a rough night. And there's a few different pathways of nerves. I don't know how to put this into words, but you can either be really nervous and hyperactive, where you gas yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
You can be really nervous, where you're so calm that you actually think you're okay and you're not nervous, but you're actually just sinking. It's like sinking into this couch and you can't get out.
Yeah.
And we've all been there.
I was there for my last fight.
Yeah. And you got to have sort of just the in between. So you got to be. There's no fight you're going to have without nerves.
Yeah.
But you got to be on edge, and you got to be a little bit active. You got to have a good crew around you in the change room. Positive.
Yeah.
Don't hang around anyone that's negative.
Yeah.
On fight days, whether it's a girlfriend or parents or someone close, you got to have people in your circle, in your fight camp, your training. They've been there. You know, they've been through the trenches with you. They know how to be around you and stuff.
It's actually always something I've always been like, I've had FOMO for, when like I see you fight day, blah, 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 and like all the Snapchats and shit, all the Instagram stories from backstage. It looks like a really good place to be. Like,
it's such a good place to be where I have to actually put my foot down and goes, guys, shut the fuck up.
Especially with this guy.
Man, well,
This guy, man. And then when I get this guy and I got Quacky, and let's say someone else like Geordie's alright. Geordie's alright. Man, they'd just be taking the piss out of the whole thing. Get grips, guys, you know? We're gonna fucking fight.
So Mehmet always says, hey, time to get serious, man. Time to get serious. Like, every 5 minutes, hey, time to get serious.
Do you get serious?
No.
Yeah. Man, he's given me probably the most memories and stories.
Have you got a good one for us right now?
I've got plenty, man.
Give us your best.
How long do you have?
Yeah.
Just going back to the amateur career. Man, I'm confident in life that I can achieve anything. I can do anything. I got this guy to fight. I got him to finish a camp and fight. I reckon I can do anything, yeah? This guy, he was the guy that I would say, you know, to my assistant coach, he'd never be shit, man. This guy never be shit. He'd talk himself out of everything.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a video that came up the other day, actually. So everyone's punching a bag, and there's like a certain combo, and Mem's asking everyone to punch it hard. And I'm looking over at Mem, and his back is to me. And then you can see him turn around and walk towards me, and I start going really hard. And then he turns back around, and I just start chewing again.
This went on for years, man.
So when you first met him, like before you tell your funny Samad story, like you thought no chance.
No chance, but I loved him because he stole my heart.
Yeah.
Because he's like the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
So I'd never get angry. I'd get angry with him.
Disappointed.
But where I'd get angry with him, if it was someone else, I'd probably get angry with him and throw him out the door.
Yeah?
And kick the shit out of him on the way. But I get angry with him, then I just want to give this guy a hug. Yeah. And, but yeah, he's come through.
Yeah.
So anything can be achieved in life. You know, there's dark days, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. Always.
Because do you fully understand who Samad was before he started fighting? Like, I'm sure you've heard from friends and stuff who he was, but do you fully understand how fucking lazy this fucking guy was?
Man, I've seen it firsthand.
Me and him would walk to, like, the end of the fucking street, right?
Yeah.
We'd walk a kilometre and he'd have to stop and sit down on the footpath, like, 3 times. Like, and I'd be like, Samad, let's fucking go, man. Fuck's sake. We're like 14. We're meant to be fucking sprouting with energy. And he's like, yeah, just give me 5 minutes. He's fucking huffing and puffing and
a heart attack.
He wouldn't be doing that when he's shuffling, though.
Oh, yeah, man. That was actually my last fitness career.
Shuffling,
yeah. That was when I was at my prime.
Again, it's the passion, isn't it?
It's the passion.
You like something so passion will fucking drive.
Just real quickly, without incriminating myself too much,
Mm-hmm.
Certain people that I'd hang around.
Shout out.
There was a time where we'd be running from the police. They would be running, and I would be walking. Because I couldn't be bothered. Yeah. And they're turning around, they're like, what are you doing? You're going to get us caught. I'm like, you guys go without me, I'm fine.
Yeah. I'm just getting arrested, man.
And he would abuse you about it. Fucking leave me alone.
So the cops might give me a bottle of water or something, man.
But at least they'll let me sit down, man. Like, better than you guys. You mentioned something a little bit earlier.
But back so there was a story behind that I was getting to.
I forgot about that.
So there was this one fight, and he didn't train. He was fucking so lazy, and I was gonna pull him out, and I thought, no, just let him go in, you know. He's like, learn. He did the salesman talk. He's like, coach, nah, trust me, you know, cuzzy, I've got this, just trust me, yeah. So I was like, all right, man, let's do it. And I can't remember, it was one of the boys that were next to me, and they're just going to touch gloves, and I go, whoever, I can't remember who it was, I go, man, I hope he comes to fucking bashing today. I'm going to really point out and listen to him, yeah? And he went out and he fucking stopped the guy. And this was his like laziest, fattest time. And then he came back to me and he goes, see, coach, I don't need to train hard. Yeah. And I was like, oh. I had no words.
What can you say?
So, yeah, see, coach, I don't need to train.
Just looking at the other guy like, What are you doing, man?
That's what I'm meant to do.
You're meant to bash
You
him.
meant to bash him.
Yeah.
What did I pay you for back there?
So go on, you're gonna...
You mentioned something that like I hear a lot of people say, and from someone who's a veteran, I'd like to hear it. But everyone says I want to be better, like I want to be the best, I want to be better. And for everyone, like the reason's different. But for you, like what do you think it was that made you want to be better? Like, you know,
Just personal development. I just want to be a better me.
Again, that's stubbornness.
That's
sort of factored into it?
I think both athletically and you know, as a society and the community, I think I was a better person because I put all my time into my training. You know, giving up all the time doing the mischievous stuff, and it was just being better every single camp. So you camp. It's the camps that make the memory, I believe. The fights are good to, you know, showcase what you've done through that camp. But I picked up a lot of memories from the camps. But it's just being a better you. You know, I thought maybe I can get a big contract later on, but you know, wasn't to be. You know, I think I ran out of steam. Not steam, but just I probably didn't manage my body enough. You know, I did want to get towards 60, 70 fights, but
yeah.
which is, I suppose, like another lesson learned now is that you're very big on like natural remedies, taking care of your health, and now you're on top of it a lot more than probably what you were back in the day when you were fighting.
Well, yeah, it comes with experience.
And I want to touch on like your sort of views and like I suppose looking after your body now, like with like all the remedies you use now and things like that.
One thing I did have, I had some really good, a real good sports doctor. So Dr. Peter Lewis. So I always take my guys to them as well. You know, whether you need stitches or PRP. So I had about 30 PRP injections up to now.
For people at home, PRP is platelet-rich proteins. Plasma-rich proteins, sorry. So they, idiot. So they take your blood out, they spin it, and they separate your blood cells from your plasma, which has like a lot of like proteins and albumin, things like that, that are responsible for healing up your cartilage and things like that. So really good for joint pains, joints are especially. So Mem used to get one every freaking second day.
Yeah. So I think I went back not too long ago for something else, and he had a look on the records, and I was one of the first patients to receive it. So probably around 2010, 2011, around that time. And yeah, it's booming now. Now it's in the beauty industry and stuff like that. So yeah, what was the question?
So, like supplementation, things like that you use now, you wish you probably would have used back in the day. Like
I used to use a lot of stuff too. I had a sponsor back then that was giving me some stuff. Mind you, I think he was using it as a test dummy at times. So
yeah.
the two of us. And I could tell you, I swear, I thought
Did you grow a third leg?
amphetamines or something. Yeah, try this stuff. Yeah, try this stuff. Yeah. All right, cool. Diet's a big one.
It's very underrated.
Yeah, and you know, back then we didn't have a what's her name again?
Michelle Reeves. Can I just give a big shout out to Michelle Reeves, who changed my whole career with her help and nutrition support, and got me far.
I have heard about you like 5,000 times.
And if you haven't heard about Michelle Reeves, guys, give her a follow. She's a whiz. But back to me.
Just quickly on diet. You said diet's a big thing. I just want to touch on to everyone, even if you're not a fighter or go to gym, diet is a fucking huge thing for every aspect of your life. Every fucking aspect.
Yeah.
If you've got shitty skin,
Diet.
If you're having shit sleep, diet. Like just
mental health.
Mental health.
Issues,
Diet. Like it is. I feel like I feel like everyone knows this.
Yeah.
But I don't think everyone does. Like, I have this sort of like feeling that everyone should just, it's general knowledge, but people don't fucking understand this. Like, if you've had a breakout with your skin, if you're not too happy with your skin, don't fucking look at a skincare routine. Look at what you're eating first.
Yeah.
If you can't fucking sleep, look at what you're eating.
Yeah.
Look at what you're putting into your body fucking first. Do you know what I mean? It's always quick, like as we're talking about supplementation, but it's always supplementation. What can I add? What can I add?
Taking tablets.
Taking tablets, fucking
food.
doing this. So I'll use this product. This will fucking help. It's fucking
you know,
diet.
I started getting into it more the older I got. So if we go back to Sting Gym, I think that's where I lost most of my brain cells actually.
Yeah.
In those sparring sessions with all those killers. And then like your nutrition, your weight cuts. Man, we had some pretty hard weight cuts. And your training structure. So I don't regret any of it because I did a lot of mistakes, and that's what we put forward, and try to get these fighters and stuff on the right track from the set go. You know what I mean? Not in another 5 years time. So
100%. 100%. Do you have any more supplementation questions?
I was just going to add on to, like, they don't teach you about food in school.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I find it's definitely something that they should. I remember there wasn't a lot of schooling that I did in high school, but home economics or cooking classes would be my favourite. I was a fat kid.
Because
so
you'd make some fucking scrumptious shit.
Because I make some scrumptious shit and I loved food and I still love food. But that was more about, like, you get taught, and this could correct me if I'm wrong, anyone at home, but you get taught how to cook the food, but you don't get taught, like, the food groups, what you should have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how to have a healthy relationship with food. And, some people would probably...
like how legit is the food pyramid they teach you in school?
Yeah.
We could have a whole podcast on how terrible the school system is, but
that's for a different time.
Let's not touch on that today, or else we'll just
for a different
go down
time.
that fucking rabbit hole. But yes, you were a fat kid.
Moral of the story.
Did you have another question?
What supplements are you currently taking?
I take creatine, L-citrulline, a bit of L-carnitine, protein.
Trembolone.
Dynabol.
No, obviously not. But what else do I take? Just the D, C,
Yeah. Some vitamins.
all that sort of stuff.
What did you say before C that you took?
D, C,
Vitamin D, vitamin C.
C,
Yeah.
That didn't work.
Zinc.
That didn't work.
Yeah.
zinc,
Ivermectin.
hydroxychloroquine.
They're now cancelled. But so you had your fight career, titles won.
Yeah, won a few.
How many?
I think 5 or 6 or
5,
something.
6?
5 or 6.
So one thing I'm interested to know is you have your fight career. You're fighting from 16
Yeah.
to
2016, what was that? 36?
so it's like a 20-year career.
35. Yeah, but a lot of breaks.
A lot of breaks.
Wasn't taking it too serious at the start,
Okay. Well,
Have a fight, have a break, come back. So
2 years later.
you're doing a camp, and then you're having a month or 2 off, and then you just got to claw back from
start again.
So
Yeah.
you normally take a week off and then back into the grind.
Yeah. So you, like, eventually you started taking it serious at like 20...
I don't know, around 21.
21, yeah, cool.
22.
So 21 to 35, that's a good, like, 15-year career. What happens after that? So obviously you go into coaching at some point, but, like, what I'm really interested in, like, you hear it a lot with retired, like, I'm a big basketball fan, so retired basketballers, once they lose that game,
Yeah.
there's that big missing piece in their life.
The drive, the hunger.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and then that's when you see a lot of them either become drug addicts or
Yeah.
food addicts or whatnot, and they lose all the training habits.
And
Or a lot of them keep those habits and turn it into business or something like
Yeah.
that. How did you go going from a very successful fighter who obviously, as we've discussed many times on the potty, it's a lifestyle. It's not a
Yeah.
fucking sport. How do you go from that to retired? Like you've retired, you've announced your retirement,
Yep.
you've settled on that. How did you go through that mentally? Like not the actual retirement decision.
It's a
months
really
preceding.
good question, man, and it's a really really good thing to touch on because fighters get broken down, man.
Yeah.
Body, but it's more the mental. When you've been in this cycle of camp, this and that, and you're like you're wanted in the fight community, you're looked up to, or people want to see you fight again, and then you just end up becoming a has-been.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people can take that as, you know, where's my worth? You know, I used to be important and this and that, but you have to fill that gap with something. And I was fortunate enough to. The first thing was I was newly married and I was expecting our first baby.
Mm-hmm. That'll fill
So-
a void.
My wife was 6 months pregnant, and you know that's my world title.
Yeah.
You know that's everything I've ever wanted in life.
Yeah.
You know, that's my dream. So I had that to fall onto, fortunately. And the other thing was I was still in the gym.
Yeah.
So I was training. I put all my time into the fighters, and that was like my fight. So you know these guys, their fight camps, their careers were my career.
Yeah.
So their success was my success. So I put all my time into that. And you know, man, I'd get the itchy knuckles, man. I'd be in the change room, I'd be in the corner, I'd be shadow boxing, you know. And I was like, oh, fuck, okay, come on. I'm coaching. You know?
Yeah.
I'm the coach, you know. I'm not the fighter. So
Yeah.
I'm back into these guys, you know. Lucky I had that because you have to have a purpose
Yeah.
after fighting.
That's the thing,
Otherwise,
is the purpose. And sort of what we were talking about before the potty, before Samad got here, which we won't touch on on camera, but that's a big thing that I feel with a lot of people that I know that aren't sort of doing too well.
Yeah.
It's the lack of purpose.
Yeah.
I think whether that purpose is a job, whether that purpose is parenting, whether that purpose is like, it doesn't even have to be like a huge thing. Do you know what I mean? It's just purpose.
Yeah.
And people that go to 9-to-5 jobs that don't have like a outcome, I feel like struggle a lot with that. Like, it's the purpose. You need to find whatever that purpose is.
Yeah.
So your purpose was fighting, winning fights, fucking getting better. And obviously once that finishes, your purpose is now parenting and parenting this guy. Like, and finding that purpose is a really big thing, I find.
Yeah.
Whether the goal is to become a fucking world champion, whether the goal is to become fucking slimmer, whatever it is,
Yeah.
whatever. If your goal is to become just a better person, the purpose
Yeah.
is a big thing, and it's not going to be thrown in front of you. Like it sort of was thrown in front of you at the age of 16 when they gifted you this 3-month membership.
Yeah.
So you were very lucky, and it could have saved you in that way.
Yeah.
Do you think it saved you in that way?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, purpose. So there's some people come into your lives, or you know, certain circumstances, and that's where you set your destiny.
Yeah.
You know, your final destination of who you are.
Yeah.
But like another thing that I was really firm on was just making my students better people.
Yeah.
You know, so that'd be, you know, sometimes just a little bit coaching them in some aspects of their life or something,
Mm-hmm.
out of training, you know. And just seeing, you know, that's another real proud moment after coaching these guys for years and then watching their achievements, you know, academically.
Outside of the gym, yeah.
In their careers, in their jobs. And it was just really cool, man, just having these really cool students, man, and they're all helping all the other students, you know, so no one felt like uncomfortable being the first, you know, when you first go into a gym, it's a bit daunting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys were just, and these guys were the experienced guys. They were looked up to and stuff. And they just gel around these people. And, you get all sorts of people coming to train, some people have disabilities, man.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's just they want to be a better person of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Just break out of their shell a little bit, So I got a lot of pleasure out of seeing results out of my students, and it's just contentment, I guess.
Yeah.
So after fighting, I found contentment in other things,
Mm-hmm.
which still in coaching.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like
Yeah,
it was good.
That sense of like
I always try to be. I tried to be a role model.
Yeah.
As well, so have a good culture.
Yeah.
In the gym.
I was about to say, when you're talking about everyone feels welcome and blah blah blah, that falls on you. That falls on who's setting that standard.
Definitely.
Because there be gyms out there. I'm sure you two could name a couple of them where the gym's not as welcoming and beginners wouldn't feel too comfortable walking in there because of the vibe that the really top five people set.
Well, the most stereotypical sort of fight gym is like what everyone thinks of as like, big angry meatheads who just want to punch on, and
you walk in and have to fight the best fighter on
your
your first day or something.
You walk in and you sense hostility and you don't feel very welcome there, and like you feel like everyone's
it's
just
competitive environment.
Competitive environment, everyone's eyeing you off, and it's like for some gyms like that works for them, and like their goals are obviously different, but walking into Extreme with Mem being the coach, like the very first thing I did notice was it was like this very strong community vibe, like family vibe, where you're welcomed in, you have a laugh, like there was they'd have barbecues and stuff on the weekend, and yeah, as a coach you're responsible for that. You set that up because like you could always have a laugh, you could have a joke with Mem, and even now in your classes I see you still can, and that really makes a difference. That makes a lot of difference. But you also mentioned, well, you didn't mention it, but you insinuated that you like to have some community drive and build a better environment for people and better outcomes. And you do some projects these days. I see you do some fundraising ones overseas. There was one that you can tell us a little bit more about. And
transition on point.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Stuff,
That was fantastic.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So
Tell us about it.
And also the homeless drive. At the moment, a couple of projects that you're doing. So
yeah, it's involved in few little projects and stuff. We do this annual thing in Uganda. So we raise money and we sponsor. They're called Ramadan dinners. So we have a tent of about 300 people that come to have dinner for the night. So we do that for 30 days.
A dinner every night for 30 days?
Yeah. So for 300 people.
Yeah.
My goal...
That's a lot of meals.
My goal is to actually go there myself, firsthand, and experience it and get a taste of, what people are going through. And
sorry, just to clarify, you're having 300 people for dinner 30 days in a row.
Yeah.
And that's raising money.
So we raise funds from here, and we have sponsors for a night. So it's 300 people.
Yeah.
So some had sponsors this night.
Oh, and each 30 days have a different sponsor.
Some people team up and they sponsor a night.
And that money goes towards what in Uganda?
Main thing's food.
Yep.
And they have food packs as well.
Yeah.
So they'll last them, up to a month. So
why?
Necessities. Why?
It's probably a question that is not usually asked when someone does
why?
charity.
It's because
why?
I could be that person.
Yeah.
That's definitely in need of in a vulnerable situation where I'm less fortunate.
So yeah, empathy.
It's
all empathetic, which is a crazy thing. Because I actually think about that a lot.
You think about empathy?
I think about having empathy. I think about you're right. That could be me. that was born in a less privileged country.
Yeah, so we're grateful. We have everything.
Yeah.
You know, at our feet.
It's huge.
So
why there specifically?
Look, I got a friend here that he was there. He's done work there himself, so he knows people on the ground there that are hands on. So the money goes straight to them.
You know where the money goes.
And I know where every dollar goes.
Yeah.
And everything is very transparent. So
that's a big thing.
This is the money, and this is what's for, and this is where it's going, and that gives me fulfillment to know that the funds are going to the right place.
Yeah.
No one's taking a dollar out of it.
Yeah.
You know,
which is a big thing with charity. It's why
a
lot of us.
Statistic one time.
Yeah, I gave you a statistic, but I'm not sure.
Wasn't backed by fact.
It wasn't backed. Nah, there's something like I remember. I'm not going to name the charity in case we get fucking sued for everything.
Yeah.
But there was a charity where I saw a very, very well known charity where if you donate $1, or let's say $100, it was like $6 out of that actually goes to the research, to the cause. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like I get when you're running a massive charity, the CEO needs to get paid something. You need to pay marketing. You need to do these things.
Yeah.
But if I'm donating $100 and $6 is going towards the cause,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There should be more transparent. Like so, you're really donating $6, and the rest is funding.
Yeah.
I guess you wouldn't donate then.
You wouldn't, yeah.
But there's countless fucking charities out there that the CEO or people high up are filling their pockets with it, or it's a tax write-off. But yeah, this one is good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a local so we work with charity organisation here. It's called ARO, Australian Relief Organisation. We've got some pretty cool projects happening, and one that we've just developed here. So it was feeding the homeless.
Yep.
So it's cool helping people everywhere, but let's help the people closest to us.
Mm-hmm.
Let's help Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give Melbourne a big hug. And also we're teaming up with some other friends that do this as well on a weekly basis. So I've got some good sponsors. Let's go, okay, man, I'm doing this thing. I need you to back me. And shout out to my good friend Danny.
Shout out Danny.
Royal Stacks.
He
just goes, done, whatever you need.
Yeah.
I'd actually hit him up for money all the time.
Yeah.
I'd say, hey man, look, we're doing this Uganda thing. I don't need money. Done. How much do you need? Done.
What a legend.
Yeah, even when his business is, I don't pump his tires up too much. He doesn't like talking about himself, but his business weren't doing too good. He went to China, opened some shops. He'd always contact me, man, look, business is a bit rough. You have anybody to give money, And this guy really, he has a different place in my heart, man, because he's got a really cool vision of helping people.
Yeah.
And that's something, it's another drive, man. Again, you're saying about purpose and, you need little projects. So I think I need projects. I need something to drive me.
Yeah.
After fighting, And so we're feeding the homeless. So he provides meals, burger meals. We just raised some money. We gave out 50 sleeping bags.
Yeah. Are you handing out sleeping bags?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had Jake Matthews come along as well.
Yeah.
And Jake actually is doing this stuff every week now.
Yeah.
And so we got our next one next Thursday. Just feeding them, and then it'd be nice to just look. They just want to talk sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to be heard.
Yeah.
These are people that the councils and stuff. They offer them help, but they don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
They offer them hotel rooms and stuff. They don't want it. There's psychological aspects, that issues that are underlying for their situation. It'd be great to one day be able to, just connect with them on a level where, you just help them a bit, where you rehabilitate them just a little bit in life, you know. It's nice to feed them, clothe them, this and that, but look, these are just, in my mind, they're just small things, you know. But you know, if you could save one person, you know, just think that you've saved humanity. Just try to save one person at a time, and if everyone does that, like, I think the world can be a better place.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's interesting that about like how they have a lot of support offered to them, but like the underlying thing is like a psychology thing, and I think most people's approach is, you know, like they see an issue, they want to throw money at it, and it's good to help. It's good to help in any way you can, but it's interesting. Like not a lot of people would think to stop, talk to someone, hear their story, see if they can offer anything beyond like.
Well, the thing is, yeah. Look, I Jake Matthews. I'll just give you an example of him. He's a terrific guy, man. Like he's the one of the most humble guys you'll ever meet, and he's a superstar, man. He's a rock star in our fight game. But you just wouldn't think it. Anyway, I approached him. I said, "Look, at this project, and I know you love doing this sort of stuff." He was straight away down, done, mate. What time? You know. And I said to him, I go, he's like, you know, this is cool, man. Like, why do you do this? I go, man. I go, do you know what? I go, I've actually met some really cool people, man. And like, you'll be astounded at how humble some of these people are. And I gave him an example because I did a drive like this once with a friend, with Murat. You know, he runs a Fight Kingdom brand.
Shout out Fight Kingdom. Murat at Fight Kingdom.
And you know, I got my friend Danny, and he gave us, you know, I think it was 100 burgers or something. And we went to some locations, we handed them out, and then we just went on the hunt, finding anyone we could that's, you know, living on the streets. And you'd be trying to give him a second burger. You know, you'll have this lady be like, no, look, that's all right, I've got one. Or, look, I'll give it to my friend, he'll be back soon, or something like that. And I was like, wow, this is amazing, man. You know? So on the other end of the scale, you've got this guy that's got houses, cars, and everything in life. And you'll say, hey, man, like, can you get me a pie and a can? It's like, hey, man, like, yeah, just give me the money then. Yeah, that's it's something you got to experience firsthand. So it was a humbling experience. And mate, you know what? And that's what Jake said. He's like, wow, man. He goes, you know, you're right. He goes, it's amazing. It's really humbling, you know. And he's addicted to it. He's addicted to helping. He's been doing it every week since we did it. So
that's insane.
He posts a lot about it, like, and he's got a big following.
Shout out Jake Matthews.
Shout out Jake Matthews. Yeah, he's got a massive following, so it obviously would do a lot of wonders having him on board. It's how I think I saw Jake's thing before I saw your thing about it. So really big.
Yeah.
Feel free to come on the potty.
If you want. Are you taking like donations or anything like that?
Yeah. So if you go to the ARO website, I think it's ARO or Australian Relief Organisation.org, I think.
Yeah. We'll drop a link.
We will put a link.
We'll drop a link
somewhere. Yeah. So another big project is we set out to we go, let's make a fundraiser and let's get a food van. And we'll get this food van. So it's not actually official yet. So you guys heard it first here. So there was a drive for it.
We won't tell anyone.
So Unlock exclusive.
If we have our own food truck, we can go anywhere.
Yeah.
So there was, you know, not me myself, but people from the Australian Relief Organisation were trying to help people that were affected by the fires, the bushfires. And, you know, it's just, the logistics is hard. But if we've got a food van, man, we can do anything. Cook anything on site. So, you know, we set out to raise some funds. And there was a gentleman that put $25,000 down to the head representative of Melbourne's ARO. And he goes, here's his 25 grand to your project. There you go, you know. And... yeah, so then there's 30 grand in the bank, in the account, but food trucks are expensive, man. You know,
yeah,
at least 60 grand, 60 grand up to 100 plus. And we're like, oh, there's still 70 grand to go, man. Like, we've still got a long way. This is awesome, but we've still got a long way to go, you know. And I'm not going to give you the name of the person, yeah, but this person just made a massive contribution.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're just about to get our...
Shit.
Yeah. So we're moments away.
Yeah. So it's really, really exciting, man. Just to be able to reach more people. So
Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah.
So what's the goal? Like, are you gonna use that for like ongoing relief for different sort of things, like help homeless, obviously now help people struggling from what's happened with COVID and
Yeah.
the bushfires, and it's just going to keep going on.
So we've done a few things. It's going to be, this homeless is going to be, we're going to help the homeless for as long as we can.
Yeah.
Hopefully forever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is something I want my kids to do.
Mm-hmm.
My kids to see and carry on, you know. And that's another thing that really drives us is, you know, how cool will this be if we can show our kids this
Yeah.
and to follow this, you know. I wish I could have done this sort of stuff earlier.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be approaching asylum seekers and the refugees, help them. We helped the international students during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one because they didn't get any support from the government at all. No payments, nothing. So I'm not trying to make this political, but that's actually good.
Just remember that election time.
Really tough time. Yeah,
Awesome.
One thing I want to touch back on the fight game real quickly.
yeah.
Hypothetically, if me and Samad were to step into the ring together, sanctioned fight, who you got? Who you putting your money on?
What rule set?
Maybe you be the judge.
I don't know, man.
If it's grappling only, well.
If it's wrestling?
He's probably a bit too well rounded now, but
Me?
you know, like I said before. I mean, yeah.
yeah, sure, yeah. Whatever you say.
You could, you know.
You got me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many win?
You can throw him like a medicine ball throws and stuff.
What are my odds, you reckon?
Death by
What am I
herpes.
gambling, man? I'd be 500 to 1, I'd say.
Would you be the one?
I'd be the fucking one. I'd be the one. But we also like to finish all these potties with a message, right? So this is your minute. I never know how to word this correctly. To get whatever you want to say out. Like, if it's a message to people, if it's something you've learned from your fucking life, from your fight career.
Take home message.
Take home message. Take home message is a good one. Thanks.
Thanks. I got you.
Take home message. Look, if you go back to fighting, one thing, it was trust. If you want to succeed, have trust in your coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why we gelled. Is he trusts me with everything, and we're here now. So we got through a lot.
Yeah.
If you have distrust, it's just going to break apart. No trust is no loyalty.
Yeah.
And you know, no loyalty is no commitment.
Yeah.
Commitment needs to be from both sides. So having trust in your coach is one thing I can give from a fight perspective.
Fuck yeah. And trust yourself as well.
Yeah, back yourself.
Like, especially if you're entering a fight, I'd imagine that'd be a big thing.
But even beyond that, like the training, trust in your ability.
Yeah.
During training and
Yeah.
trust.
And on the coaching side, trust and be loyal to your coach, because if you're bouncing around coach to coach to coach to coach to coach, I'm not sure about the fight game, but
Same thing in the fight game, yeah.
Like the personal training, bodybuilding side of things.
Yeah.
People are just jumping around coach to coach to coach to coach to coach because it's the coach that's the problem. No, dude. It's you and your mindset that's the problem, and this, like, looking for the magic pill. That's what it's like in sort of physique industry. Is it the same in the fighting industry?
Look, every case is different.
Yeah.
But it's almost like you got the social media, the Instagram craze. Or
Yeah.
The Conor media, the Conor McGregor phase we're going through. So, you got some people to come and go, hey, this is how I'm going to become champion.
Yeah.
So just letting you know.
Yeah.
I want you to do this, that. And I was like, not mine, buy books.
Find another coach, my friend.
You're going to start from here.
Yeah.
And then work your way up. So you're going to be fighting the slums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you can work your way up. So that's why I took everyone to fight at Lilydale.
Yeah.
The shithole of Melbourne.
Shout out.
I mean, look,
It's the trenches, but it's
mate, it's where a lot of good fighters came out of. You know what I mean? No razzle dazzle lights, this, that. So now you've got all these. We're going to touch on it because you got all these amateur MMA shows. You know what I mean? Which is cool because they give you the opportunity, but at the same time they're pumping your tires up so high that there's no difference between you and Conor McGregor. You think?
Yeah.
You're doing pre-fight interviews, post-fight interviews. Dude, you're just an amateur.
Yeah.
You're just learning how to fight.
And then when the shows put you on a pedestal, so you carry that level out as well. So it's I know it's got to change. I don't know if it will change, but put them in the slums, man.
Yeah.
You start from the slums and
take them back to Lilydale.
Work your way up, yeah.
Take them back to
Head to fucking Lilydale.
Back to Lilydale.
And just cut that bit out. Yeah. Let's go.
Lilydale, make or break Lilydale.
Alright.
We good?
We're good. Thank you very much.
Oh,
we've never had this before.
Yeah,
Let's get
what was the question?
What was it?
I fucking thought I had a question to ask, but what was it?
The bad weight cut thing.
Yes.
Did you have a bad weight cut?
You did have. It was a weight cut.
Did
right?
you have a bad weight cut?
Did I have a bad?
Yeah.
Every weight cut I have
Every
a bad
weight
weight cut. Yeah. Did I have one? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you got a funny Ahmed weight cut story? Or have you got a funny mem weight cut story?
I've got a funny mem one actually.
Yeah, tell us the funny mem one.
Funny mem one is I was fighting. Who was I fighting? Steve Baldacchino.
Steve.
Yeah.
Shout out.
And you wake up in the morning, and I think I was about a kilo off.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. He was late to his weigh-in.
being late. So we were talking about before.
That's right.
That's on me. I was
That's
meant to ask him this.
Come on,
so
man.
he said one of the attributes that he got from me was being late.
Yeah.
And
You heard it here first. He's the late one.
I was on time before I met this guy.
There's levels to this. Yeah, there's my level and there's expert. Yeah. And I wake up and I think I was about a kilo off. I was like, okay, sweet. I'll do this about
On weigh-in day.
Weigh-in day.
Yeah.
I'll do this. Probably a few 3-4 hours out of the weigh-in, time.
Yeah.
And then I go, look, I'll just set it up. I'll just go set up my scales in the other bathroom where the bathtub is. So I'm going to do hot bath.
Yep.
And tent and sweat.
Yep.
System. So, and then I took the scales back and I was like 3.5 kilos off. And I was like, nah, this can't be right, man. I'm putting it on different tiles in between the grouts and this lining. And I was like, nah, 3.5. I go, no, this can't be right. So I go back to the bedroom. I'm a kilo. I'm like, Uh-oh.
Which is it?
It's this one. Because then I started taking it everywhere around the house, and I'm over.
3.5?
Yeah, about.
So the bedroom was wrong?
Yeah, my ensuite. And then, oh man, it was such. I've never had a weight cut like that. And then, like I said before, like you can see the fight, and the fight looks alright, But there's these demons inside you, and there's these nerves and anxiety that no one else can see because you've got this poker face happening.
Yeah.
But that last bell rings of that fight, and you don't understand the relief you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's been all this pain coming through the camp. So I actually did my ACL again, 3 weeks out on my left knee.
Yeah. Of this fight.
Yeah. I got sort of a sweep position, and I didn't get sweeped. my knee stayed there, but the knee moved. So I taped my left knee up. Hence he kept going for my knee. Yeah. So if you watch the fight, shout out Steve. Man.
Shout out Steve, smart fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have done the same. Yeah. But the weigh-in. Man, it was like I was so late for this weigh-in. I had all these missed calls. They were waiting for me. Everyone was waiting, and it was just me. And the reason being is I cut 3.5 kilos in the matter of 6-7 hours. It was the worst thing I've ever done. And I thought I actually gave up. I think I was about 500-600 grams over.
Yeah.
The limit. And
there's a limit? What's the limit?
So
200 grams over
66.8 or something, and I was 67.
Yeah.
No. I think I weighed in just under 67, so there was a bit of a leeway.
Yeah, you get a bit of a leeway, don't you?
Yeah.
200 grams, I believe.
Yeah. Something like that. But anyway, I was still 600 grams over, or 500 grams, something like that. And I just go, no, that's it. I can't do it. Whatever it is. So I put my hoodie on, put my trackies on, and I drove myself to the weigh-in.
My wife would be pretty dangerous.
My wife offered to drive me, and I just had a fight for my wife because you know how sometimes women know everything, and at the time you're cutting all this weight, you're
shout out women.
Yeah, just love you. And I said no, just get out of my face. I'll drive myself.
Yeah.
So the mindset is everything's wrong. Everything's going in the wrong direction. But yeah, I put the heater on. I drove myself to the weigh-in.
Are you thinking like...
I'm thinking I'm over.
Yeah.
But I'm sweating. But I'm still like, no, I think I might have a chance. I'm looking at all the sweat dripping.
Okay.
Onto me or everywhere in the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hot as. And would I have done it now? Probably not. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I got in. I just made weight. So I was over a little bit. But it was enough for, them to accept. And, yeah, we had a fight.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
You won the fight.
Yeah, won the fight.
You won the fight?
Yeah,
South
won the
Pacific
fight. Nothing, that was Aussie title.
Aussie title.
That was Aussie title then. And just the relief, man. And again, like I said, I've made the most memories through camps, I think. Just the shit you have to go through. And that's what builds you, I think. That's what makes you strong.
The journey is the destination. On that note. I appreciate you coming in, bro.
Thank you very
Really
much,
appreciate it.
man. Beautiful.